What's up, everyone? Today was Stihl KM131R that I wasn't going to show because, well, there's a few of them already online, but I decided to kind of do it because of this one part. So the reason why it's on my table is it will idle just fine. When you throttle it up, it will die. Carb seems to be fine. Fuel, brand new. I put it in myself, and I got it from a non-ethanol pump like 3 weeks ago. It's perfect. Eco oil, so it's already a benefit. And so, like I said, every time you rev it up, it would die. No amount of carb adjusting is going to be doing any adjustment or any benefit to it, so don't even bother. What I am doing is I am taking off the valve cover, which these machines are what they call a 4-mix. It's 2-cycle fuel, no oil in the actual motor, just oil in the fuel, and it has valves. Intake, exhaust. Basically, the problem with this is the valves need adjustment. So what we need to do is thank you, Stihl, once again for making everything as hard as humanly possible. If you go to a store, you get a pack of normal feeler gauges. If you go online or in some stores, you can get thin feeler gauges. I would get these thin ones and then slice off a section on the sides, because what ends up happening is on the actual rockers, there's a lip that you can't quite get a normal feeler gauge in there. Let's see if we can get a better view of that. But because of that, it makes doing any type of valve adjustment very, very difficult. So thank you yet again, Stihl, for doing that. But moving along, once you have your Stihl tool made, because if you buy one, it's going to be expensive. I think I paid like $6 for this feeler gauge set. Take your 4000s, find which one is loose. Right now it's the exhaust. You can go in top dead center, I just don't really like to. We're going to try to go around that. There's almost no resistance whatsoever from that rocker to the top of the valve. So what we need to do is we need to take a 8mm or a 5/16, and we need to tighten that nut on top to help kind of drive it down. 8mm, that was going to suit, so we're going to do the 5/16 route. If I can switch, there we go. So loose means we have to tighten this. If we couldn't get our feeler gauge in there at all, we would want to loosen it to increase the spacing. Basically just want enough tension not that much tension, so it has some drag to it, but not like it's stuck like now. I think that might be pretty good. Yeah, there we go. I can push it through, but it does take a little effort. Potentially could be even just a hair tighter. Just a hair. There we go. And it's 4000s on each side. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull up on the recoil until I see that go down. And then we do the same thing to the other side. But you see how this tool is really useful in this situation. You don't have to buy it from Stihl. think that could be loosened a little bit. Not like that, I can't. It's interesting how one side is loose, the other side is. There we go. That's. I think I went a little too much on that. You're dealing with such a small margin, you really do have to be exact. This goes same for those 4 mix leaf blowers. Maybe just a hair tighter. Pretty much any of these 4 mix items. Now it feels a little too much. We're just going to do a hair looser, and we'll call that good. There we go. Now we're going to put the plug wire right there. We should be replacing this, but I do not have one, and the customer needs this very soon. But as long as yours is in fairly decent condition, you also don't need to replace it. Excuse me. Now, I'm sure some are going to say no, it has to be replaced every time, but no, it doesn't. If it's in good condition, it's just wasteful. All you're doing. Tight, but not super tight. Plug that back in. There we go. I did not want to come out. Now we're going to pull. Now, I have a flathead as well as a hexagon tool, just in case we need to tune it. You shouldn't have to, but just in case you do, I do have that. Let's take some of these items that will probably just roll off. This is from a different project, excuse me. But the reason why it happens when it's on high speed is it's a lot more delicate at that point. That small difference is really making a big difference going at, however many thousand of RPMs that's going at. So having even a little over 4,000s or a little under 4,000s can make a big difference. You should do this. I at least do this every season for a lot of my repeat people. Even if it doesn't need adjustment, I still check it. You should always check it. In my opinion, once a year. If you use it a lot, probably at least every 25 hours. I have no idea what the manual says, but I cannot tell you how many times I've done this. And the reason why I wanted to show or to bring it up now is this tool. Do not buy it. Just buy a normal set. Buy a second set that's cheap and just modify it yourself, because you get all of the other ones. And if you have anything else in the future, you can still use it. The 4,000s in no way, shape, or form is ruined. You can still use it for other machines as well. So don't just buy the tool. It's expensive. Buy the whole pack. Modify yourself. Let's give this a pull, see what happens. Don't need a knife here. Now, like I said, what had happened before was it wouldn't rev up. It would idle just fine. It wouldn't rev up. It would potentially start at high idle, or excuse me, high speed, but it would run really, really poorly. And then once you go into idle and you try to do it again, it will never rev up again. So if you're having that problem, watch this. obviously. That's a clutch. All of it. Anyway, obviously, you would have an end on it. The person that gave this to me did not give me the end. But I didn't have to adjust the carb. So whatever adjustment was there while he was using it should be okay. It was just the valves that were the issue. Did you hear any hesitation whatsoever? No. So before you do any carb tuning, before you go out and buy a new carburetor, before you go out and do anything else, fuel, check the valves. Those two things are good. Check the exhaust, make sure it's not plugged. I did the fuel and the exhaust, no problem. When I saw the valves, I instantly knew. Okay, I'll leave you at that. Have a good day. Follow me on Instagram at SmallEngine101. I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave a comment below if this helped you out or if you have any questions. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good night.